Hey guys, Zach Style here, coming at you with an interesting deck. I can't take full credit for this deck. My friend kind of made it, and she sent me the build because she wanted me to see how it was and maybe put it on my channel if I liked it. And I did made a little bit of fixes to it, and I dueled I think 3 or 4 times in a row, and I won every duel. So that was really cool. So I was like, well, hell, I might as well just upload this. So I did. So you get to see the duels that I did right here. It's Watt anti-meta chaos deck. She calls it like the Chaos Watt anti-meta deck. And it's actually really good, like surprisingly. It runs a Watt engine. It runs a little bit of Gravekeepers, the Ryos, the Gales, the heavy back row, and it really controls your opponent pretty damn well. I was pretty impressed by it. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna be dueling at lightning speed here. And if you want to guys get the deck profile, if you like the duels, you want to see exactly what it goes, including the side. That's also another very interesting thing about the deck, which I'll only show in the deck profile because it's really cool what this deck sides into. But yeah, if you want to see that, let me give me 10 likes, and I will definitely do the deck profile because I really want to show you guys. It's a pretty cool deck. Besides that, nothing much is going on. I've been going to locals a lot more, getting testing my decks a lot more, seeing what is out there. I'm gonna be doing a side deck profile soon, showing you guys that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess I'll just go over the duels that we do now. This one wasn't too hard. This duel, he didn't really do anything crazy here. He's running some kind of Blackwing variant, but it's kind of an odd build. He had a lot of tech cards, and so I galed, and then he tried to use this, but he couldn't. I had to read it and tell him. You Kvanter! I don't even know what I was trying to say. You Kvanter, whatever. And all that good stuff. Actually, I forget what happens. I think I bring out a Ryo. I want to say I draw into a Ryo next turn, and then he just couldn't stop me from there. So I think crazy back row. I ran crazy back row, Starlight, of course, 2 Mirror Forces. I love 2 Mirror Forces, guys. If you haven't tried it yet, it's kind of weird, I understand, but try it. Because, like, you do that and people are just so scared of attacking you. Or you run 2 Mirror Forces and 2 prisons, and like they just don't attack anymore. They're just like, oh shit. Like it's insane. And so much fun. This one was a lot more fun. He was running an appropriate deck, I believe. Yeah, appropriate deck right there. Where that make like whenever I draw a card, except for my draw phase, he draws two. So it's kind of annoying. But I ended up doing something really cool. I'm not gonna spoil it, because kind of like raped him. But anyway, so yeah, the whole this deck is really it's not an autopilot deck at all. It's a heavy pilot. You really have to think. And like I did this video at like 225% speed because I really did have to think of my moves and what I was doing and what was in the deck, what I had in my hand, all that kind of stuff. And it really required some very advanced, like not advanced, but thinking ahead of just those moves that I was doing. And so yeah, not everyone could just pick up this deck and play it, but it's really cheap. It's not an expensive deck at all. There's a lot of cards that you should be just floating around if you ever played Yu-Gi-Oh, really. And that's what I liked about it. It's a cheap anti-mana deck that can actually take on some pretty cool decks. Yeah, I won 4 times. I think there's only 3 duels in this video, but I won like 4 times in a row with it. And I'm going to be testing a lot more. I mean, if it's good enough, hell, I'll build it at that rate. Here's what I did that was really cool. I was gonna blow up Descendant, but I was like, fuck it, I'll just MST, and then I'm gonna go for Shockmaster. Because I knew appropriate deck, he probably didn't have anything to stop it. So I decided to attack directly, and then he did that. And then I went to Shockmaster, and just called spells. I was like, effect spells. And then he's like, uh-oh, because it's literally all he has. The thing he could have done now is got something like Dark Hole where he used, I think, or that last video, or Heavy Storm. To say I just called spell again, and then just plus on the field, remove from play, those 2 for BLS, I think my Ryo, yeah, and then I special summoned it with Lever, and swarmed the fuck out of the field. That's the cool thing too in this deck. Shotmaster really isn't hard to go into, because like all you have to do is set Descendant, and if they didn't kill Descendant when they flipped it face up, it's like, okay, I pretty much got Shockmaster, which is tight. And then this time he didn't say anything, so I knew he had a Scarecrow or something. So I was like, monster. I was like, fuck it, because there's no way he doesn't have a Scarecrow or a Cores. And then I summon another Ryo and just went for game right there. Yeah, and he was like, "Good game, bro." And this deck was Gem Knights, I believe. This was kind of weird. This was a really weird duel, but yeah, I really like this deck. Like just like the simplicity of it, and yet the fact that you actually have to think, and like the resources are like so simple. It runs a Watt engine, which Watt Dragonfly, which gets you out the other Watts. It runs little Gravekeepers. What else does it run? It runs the Veiler, of course, the Ryos. Because I think Ryos retarded this format, so you kind of gotta run them. But yeah. So in the comments below, I'd actually like to know what people are playing at your guys' locals. If you guys go to locals or blah blah, like what's the big decks there? Like I know for mine, I have a lot of Prophecy going around. I think there's 2 or 3 Prophecy decks. A lot of heroes still, like a shit ton of heroes. A lot of Geargias. I guess that's to be expected. What else? We have a lot of Dark Worlds, and I don't even start about that deck. I hate that deck so much. Again, of course, no offense to you, those of you that play it. I just hate the deck. It's just so annoying game one, and you can side against it pretty heavy easily game two, but game one is just such a bitch. Like it really is just such a bitch. Um, but yeah, a lot of Dark Worlds and a lot of really random decks. Of course, we have the Psychics, the Grand Soil net deck Psychics, which is kind of annoying to be quite frank, but whatever. What else do we have? We got the. That's pretty much all I can think of. We actually have a few Light Sworns. If you guys do not know, Light Sworns got top 32 at a recent regionals or YCS. One of them, I can't quite remember on the top of my head. But yeah, I got top 32. It's a really interesting build too. It ran 3 Light Ray Diablos, had 3 Magical Merchants, and I think 7 spells, 2 traps, 2 Beckoning Lights, of course. Something like that. And like on average, your Magical Merchant would mill like 4 or 5 cards. Ran 3 Necro Gardna. A lot of Light Sworn names, just because Diablos and JD plus when you get, are easy to get out with that. So yeah, it was really interesting. And my teammate actually built it because he used to run Light Sworns and he used to run Chaos Sworns at one point, but he tried that one out at locals and he did pretty well. He didn't top, but I think he went like 3-2. And he was still getting used to the deck and he misplayed a lot too. But yeah, it was really interesting. Actually, I think I'm going to do a deck profile on that deck too, because just for a Light Sworn deck, it was really cool to see. What happened here? Yeah, he had that card destruction, so I set my Dark Hole. Because, it was a risky move because of the heavy, but I really didn't think he was going to get that, and yeah, I don't know. I just didn't want to get card destruction fucking Dark Hole. And I didn't really care about my Wild Dragonflies. I was like, whatever. Like, I have my Ryo, I got my Armor Master, I have my back row. Hate. I'll just go with there. And this is actually a really weird, weird duel as well. Because he got that guy he has right now, that fusion. He got it out like 3 or 4 times, but I just kept protecting my monsters. And that's what I love about this format too. You can really run like builds or decks that slow it down. Like the format's slower already, and then this deck and other anti-meta decks just slow it down like that much more. And it's just like hilarious to see. Yeah, I placed the wedge counter on there. And then I was gonna Mirror Force when he attacked, and I was like, why? Like I'll just get my Watt. So I was like, okay, I'll let it go through. I got Giraffe. Giraffe's really cool in this deck because what you do is like, let's say they have 1 monster, right, and they kill your Wild Dragonfly. Special summon Giraffe. Okay. Next turn, let's say they have 2 set cards, and you really you kind of know that it's going to be something gay. It's going to be like a Solemn or a Bottomless. So then you just go, okay, Giraffe attack. Wild Giraffe's effect, by the way, if you don't know, is that when he can attack your opponent directly, and when he does, your opponent can't activate spell, traps, or affect monsters' effects until the end phase of your turn. So you just instantly enter the battle phase, attack directly. Then main phase 2, you do all your activations or your special summons or your summons or whatever else you want to do. So then they're safe. They can't activate anything in response to it. So literally, like, if you can attack with Giraffe, like the scenario I just gave, they can't activate any of their back row or anything in general. So it's really cool. Really cool card, and it's a really good, like my friend was explaining to me, it's a really cool tech in this deck too. Just because it really abuses your main phase 2. And with that, like, you can safely special summon Chaos Sorcerer, or use a Dark Hole, or a Heavy Storm if you think they have a Starlight or Solemn Judgment against it. And it's really interesting. Yeah, I protected my Wild Giraffe here just because I knew all I had to do is survive 1 more turn with him, and I won because he had only 1,050 left, and he has 1,200 attack. 1,200 is a decent amount of damage to him. And he I don't know what he was doing here. He, like, went on a big tangent, started special summoning all this shit, and it was like, oh no, but it's his main phase. He didn't say it right here, but it's his main phase 2 right now. So I was like, I really don't know what he's doing, and I ended up winning this one too. But yeah, guys, hope you like the deck. Give me 10 likes, and I will definitely go over it and tell you some more things about it and how to play it, how to really pilot the deck a lot better. And yeah, I'll be looking for more content. And yeah, it's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for listening to my rants. And this is Axe Tyler signing out, guys. See you later.